All right, on the show today, we have 3 characters that we're going to be going out and doing a little bit of a hex crawl. First of all, we have Isaac playing Frostglade.
I might not have been ready. Hi, I'm Isaac, and I play Frostglade.
Wonderful, wonderful. And we have Dylan playing Maris Honeysuckle.
Hello.
And finally, we have Mariel playing Bort.
Hello.
So the 3 of you, we're going to be going out and exploring some new hexes. Do you folks want to tell me about where you decided to go?
Yeah, should I take this, guys?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, so I almost said Bort. I've taken over your character apparently. So Frostglade comes limping back, like seriously, just a half a day later. His normal cloak of moss and vines and healthy plant growth is completely burnt away. There are 0 owls living with Frostglade at this moment, and he's very badly wounded, much worse off than he may have thought from some encounter out there. So he's interested in healing, but even before he gets down to that, he's interested in going and talking to Tequila and also to other members of the Soulbound that are on Torlin, because wounds or not, there's something very important to do out there. So I think we're heading essentially straight east. And then if we don't find anything there, straight east again. And if we don't find anything there, straight east again to try to clear out whatever hexes we can. Hopefully to move Torlin further, more centrally at some point. But these are all discussions that need to take place.
So have we convinced, is it a captain or a pilot of this turtle to take us east?
Nope.
You have
okay, great.
Yeah, that hasn't happened yet, but you would be talking to Tequila Brightmane, who is the Lord Castellant of Torlin, basically responsible for the overall well-being of the fortress. But it sounds like you folks have already headed out. So you hit the waves. Basically, where we're going to be going is it's going to be east of Torlin and south of Glade's Edge. And then if we keep going, south of Germerstown, so we're kind of going along because so far, all of the hexes, all the players have done is in literally a northeast straight line. So there we go.
I just want to make a quick observation for this episode. We have 2 characters that primarily grunt or talk with like a single word and then Maris. So I'm really looking forward to dialogue. I'm really
there's going to be a lot of motioning to you to just take it.
There's going to be a lot of like furrowed brows.
Yeah.
And hope you're ready to carry the conversation.
It's going to be great radio. Stay tuned.
I'm glad I got some hot tea.
Yeah. Also, I wanted to do a very quick sidestep into talking about, I'm glad you brought up Maris, because we should talk about her class a little bit. I wanted to talk about, Maris is a trade pioneer.
Yes.
And I wanted to unprompted challenge you a little bit, Maris / Dylan, because you have yet to use your trader's cash.
Oh, yeah.
So, did you forget about that?
Everything else? No, I know it's there, but I think like when Murray and I were talking about it, like we kind of misunderstood. Like, is it have to use it as an endeavor? Do I have to plan ahead? Can I use it wherever? Should we just say screw it and go for it, kind of thing? Yeah. So a little bit of unknown on how I should use it.
Well, you should know better than to listen to Murray about these things. So basically, how this works.
Savage burn.
No. Come. Tell me, Dave, how does it work?
Okay, so right now, let's do a test because it's actually going to reflect the amount of things that you can do. So do a DN 4-1 mind survival test. And then based on the number of successes, you are going to have resources available to you.
I'm so glad I upped my survival. Okay, what was the DN? 4-1.
4-1 mind.
Oh, well, fuck. What the dice are really gonna hate me today, but okay. I have 2 successes.
Okay, well, that's not too bad. Okay, so basically, what this represents is Maris. She has connections to her. I forget the name of it, like your house, basically. and you have you're prepared, you have access to resources, so on, so on. So really what this means is after you make a test, after Maris makes a test, you can actually expend those successes.
Mm-hmm.
So you have 2 successes that you can expend to add an equal number of successes to the result. So you have 2. Let's say you want to, score a hit on an enemy, and you rolled 2 successes. You can burn another of those 2 successes that you just rolled into that number, and it becomes 4. So basically, you just have a float of free successes that you can burn to make a roll better.
Huh.
But only during trades.
It can be a number of
fights.
things. And it's both. Well, after you make a test of any kind.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's basically, and then in fiction, I would want you to kind of explain about how you would make it better through your resources or something like that. But you can all pretty much automatically do it. What you can also do is if you're trying to get an item, like you're doing a bargain or a trade, something like that, you can actually just expend your trading cash resources to get an item of that rarity or better. So, for example, what's listed here is you can exchange 2 of those trader's cash for a rare item, or if you do 3, you can get an exotic item.
And this is why you don't listen to Murray.
I think we can almost end the session there with just that lesson.
No, don't let Murray hear me say this.
Don't worry, no one will ever hear this. Yeah, no one will ever hear this conversation.
It'll be the tagline for this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think for me, I was going from when we need to go trading, and we haven't really done a whole lot of trading, so it was kind of I can't use it, but not realizing, hey, I can have successes in the back of my pocket for XYZ.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Maris hasn't really been challenged very much over this campaign, so, you wouldn't have needed to use those additional bonus results at all.
So I've heard, yeah. Whole lot of easy combats happening.
Players,
Whole
this
lot
is
of
a great
standing
example. For the players out there listening, this is a great example to know how your class works.
Cool.
You never know what might save your life.
Normally it's just other people.
Anyway, have I said how much I appreciate you players? You're great. You make this
so
worth
much.
doing.
Hey, Bort, do you want to have a thumb war? Let's do opposed mic checks. That seems fair.
Okay.
What?
We're just having a thumb war.
arm
It's fine.
wrestling in the tavern.
I rolled a bunch of dice.
Great.
What?
I rolled a bunch too. I have 2 successes out of 3 dice.
Oh, sounds like we healed some soul fire together. Nice work.
Nice. We do a bro high five.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So for real, Frostblade and Maris have to be known to each other.
Yes.
And I actually don't know if Bort and Maris have adventured, but we haven't
did.
actually adventured.
Oh,
did you
we
guys?
have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Frostblade knows nothing. Okay, well, Frostblade and Maris haven't adventured together.
That's true.
So, big shrug. Hello, Maris. It's good to see you.
Hi, Frostglade. How you doing?
Oh, wow. He is not used to that. That is way too cheery. He gets almost immediately uncomfortable, takes a step back like he's been struck.
Bort is gonna pat Frostglade on the back and be like, "She's a good one."
Okay, he needs it. He sort of squints his eyes at her and he's just like, okay. Is oh my god, Pickle's around.
Pickles
That's
is
his name.
leaping towards Frostglade in the hopes of running through his branches.
Mouth open, delicious.
But wait, no. There's no digestive.
Rest in peace, Pickles.
Well, sorry, Maris, it happened. Yeah.
I mean, we said it. Dave just believed us.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
Frostblade doesn't
good.
eat your animal.
No, okay, good. Because Maris used to be a lumberjack in a previous life, so it could have
my
gotten
God.
weird.
Oh, we are off to a rough start here. Bort, help us.
Sorry, no.
Where is everyone right now? Are you on the ship?
That's a really good question.
Eating
so
my pet?
Yeah, wherever we eat pets on the ship would be good.
Yeah.
So Frostblade comes back. He's badly wounded. He would only be willing to rest one night. He'll probably get some help with that. And then the very next day he'd want to head out. So I think, unless you guys want to do something, do you guys want to be on the sloop?
Yes.
Cool.
Sure.
Nice. Question answered, Dave.
You don't have to role play it out or anything.
No, we're good. I gained XP. Frostglade.
Just you.
Frostglade is delighted with Pickles. He's been looking forward to meeting her. Yeah, her. And
Him.
he's just like,
Rookie mistake.
Oh shit! Sorry. Oh no! I eat her.
Them?
Him.
Them?
He's completely delighted that Pickles is interested in him. There's not that many, like all of the growth on Frostglade right now is like really short and stunted because he got burnt so badly. But there's still a little playground for Pickles, and Frostglade just slowly and carefully sort of pretends to paw at him and says things like, "How are you, tiny one? You are lucky to have a friend."
And Pickles chitters and chatters nonstop. And normally Pickles is not super talkative like Marist, but to Frostglade, he's just like a mile a minute. I don't even know how to pretend to sound like a Mastori, and I don't want to try.
Oh, you don't have to. It's up to Dave. Dave, let's hear it.
What? Oh no, that's not what I imagined at all.
It's canon.
It sounded like Pickles was dying.
Yes.
It sounded like Frostglade eating Pickles.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we're gonna have to use like none of this, Dave. What are you doing?
Throw this in the trash.
There we go. Yeah, just like
Oh, right on.
squeak.
Okay. Frostglade is normally not terribly talkative, as you guys know, but he is having a very slow, way out of sync with Pickles' conversation, and he's delighted to be having it.
This is the cutest thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we healed Soulfire, guys. I mean, we're really good at this.
Pickles just stole some from Okri.
Sold.
Oh god, he ripped it out of his heart.
Oh.
Yeah. So you're on the Sloopadoop, or wait, which one are you on? You're on.
Dave, if we're on the Sloopadoop, I'm afraid I have to sink it immediately, so let's be on another ship.
You only have the two there. The other group just took out the Dreams of Sails, and you're on the
Oh,
Sloopadoop.
what?
I'm
We're
sorry.
stuck with...
Wait.
Okay.
Oh no, in the bosom of Mercy or Mercy. No,
That was the one ship that failed. Everyone
Yeah.
remembers the name Bosom of Mercy. No one remembers the other one. I wonder why that is.
That's
I
weird.
remember Sloop de Whoop.
Sloop to whoop. You're out on the waves of the sea. Waves crashing up against you. And who did you bring anyone with you? Is it just you three heading out?
Yeah, I think I was trying to figure if I wanted to bring Mariah on this quest with us, but I think for now he's probably still healing from his surgery.
Who the hell is Mariah?
Mariah Carrion was another patron that we met at the year's end celebration.
Okay.
What's the bar called again? The one that closed?
Top shelf.
Top Shelf.
Oh yeah.
And I'm certain that in some sort of inebriated state, nobody did secret surgery on this a friend of ours. Is that correct or incorrect?
It wasn't a secret surgery as much as it was maybe just helping a friend who took a little tumble.
Oh my
So
goodness.
I wanted
Okay.
to. I'm glad this came up because since this had happened, I want to kind of explain a little bit about the tone of the overall Storm's Mandate. Right now we're at Doom 4, and Doom can go up and down based on decisions, actions, and everything like that. For the last little while, things have been pretty tense, especially given that this person had gone missing, showed up again with like this augmented eye. There's a lot more tension where there wasn't before, especially between Bort and Mariah and other folks along the ship. So what we're going to do is we're going to increase the Doom by 1. So we're now at a total of Doom 5.
Frostglade doesn't know what's going on. He's just like staring off over the waves.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Not
I
if
heard
you're
some
with
traffic.
Maris.
I heard some traffic in the background. I thought it was Dave adding in like some Doom sounds, but that wasn't the case.
Yeah. Here's just some cafe ambiance. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well that's exciting.
All right, so you're all on the ship. Was there any other conversations you guys were wanting to wrap up before we talk about where you're going?
Frostglade would love to play with Pickles for hours, but he's pretty single-minded. So after only 20 minutes, he'll very care. Actually, I probably don't have to return Pickles. Pickles can do what Pickles wants, but Frostglade would man the oars and just more or less give a glance at the other two, like a. Why don't I use my voice? Should we go?
Yes!
Bort nods curtly.
All right, Frostglade heaves on the oars, and we heal a soul fire.
Maris is at the front of that ship with Pickles directing it. We'll go with that.
That's adorable. So you hit the waves and you head out from Torlin, heading due southeast. And for a long time, you're going through. The waves are particularly choppy today. You're navigating around. I want everybody to go ahead and make an awareness mind as we begin to navigate. It'll be on four threes.
That is a rough start. I've got 0 successes. 0.
2.
1.
Okay, so you sail around this region for a while. And you can get the impression that you're just not really able to make any headway. It seems almost as if this region is completely devoid of any life, or maybe the Pickles is pointing you in the wrong directions. There could be a multitude of reasons. And as you see the light of Haish kind of go behind the light of Ulgu, and things begin to get a lot darker, you actually spot finally towards as this dusk kind of begins to set in. You notice the single light of a campfire against a sea stack that you hadn't noticed during the day.
Oh, okay.
The
Cool.
sea stack rises several tens of meters out of the ground. It's quite large, and at the base you see this flame kind of like licking up along the side of the surface.
Frostglade would stand and stretch because it's been a long day of rowing, or maybe he can't get tired. Who knows, guys? I don't know. And then he just sort of looks at Bort and Maris and Pickles and says, "Should we go there?"
Might as well go check it out. And Maris is already getting ready to go.
Yeah,
She's in the water.
Bort agrees.
Yeah, doggy paddling over.
It's just swimming away.
Gathering her stuff, making sure Pickles is like tucked away into her jacket.
Cool.
You make your way towards there. It doesn't take too long. You actually see there's this outcropping that kind of, you wouldn't really notice it from most angles except for the angle that you're approaching from. There's a small single person craft hooked up, kind of moored against the rock here, and you can see it kind of bouncing back and forth against it. And you see a rope kind of going up onto this ledge, and sure enough, you see that campfire that you've been watching. And there is a human sitting at the fire. You can notice that they're watching you as you approach. You continue moving on, or moving towards the camp.
Yeah, Maris is.
Yeah,
I just lost my voice for a moment. Maris is going to wave.
Sure. When they see you wave, they stand up. As you're getting closer, you get a better look. This is a human. She's fairly wide set. She has raven black hair. She's wearing a set of fur-lined armor with these dark leather plates. And on her head, she has this orange stitched sou'wester hat that kind of comes down around the sides of her head and her back. And kind of gives you a curt nod as you make your way closer. But at this point, you could bring your ship alongside.
Cool. Let's do it.
You do so.
Bump. I don't know the parts of both.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what the terms are. We anchor it down, we tie it down. What do you do with a boat to make sure it doesn't float away?
Prows?
Yeah.
Is that a name?
Yeah,
I take the rope and
you ram the prow of the ship into the face of the rock.
No.
Yeah, you do that. The ship is safe. You're fine. You have this human kind of looks down over the side. It took you long enough. I've been stuck up here nerf stack for 2 weeks. Where you been?
2 weeks?
2 weeks
that
been
long?
here. Mm-hmm.
You were waiting for us?
Yes. She kind
No.
of puts a hand on her handle and kind of like narrows her eyes.
Bort demands to. Bort says, "Who are you?"
She clears her throat, kind of stiffens up. You notice actually from behind her, there's like a little, very small cave entrance. You see a small cat-like creature kind of wander out to look at you. It's got like this deep charcoal skin with like ashy scales along its back and some brilliant red cat-like eyes.
Aw.
And she say, "Right, here you go. Light a heish be shining too bright."
Oh, shit.
She waits for you to respond.
Oh, crap. Guys. To buy himself some time, or to just get out of this, Frostglade pays only attention to the cat and goes to see it. Bye, guys. Let me know how it
Yeah.
goes.
I'm gonna go over to the cat and give her the. Pss, 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 pss.
Can I do a knowledge? Is there like a knowledge or like a
You want to do a lore?
knowledge? Yeah. Well, I don't
Yeah.
have lore, but I assume lore is probably the best one to roll.
Yeah, go ahead and do a lore mind. You're going to do a 6-1.
Okay. Here we go. I dropped one. Oh no, it's gone. I don't know where. I'm gonna re-roll one. I got a 6. I got 1 success.
Oh, okay, cool. You recognize this. This is a Axian smuggler's code. Now, you know that basically she is trying to determine if you're who she's looking for. So basically what she said, the light of Hish is shining too bright. And I don't know if you would know the response to that unless you could kind of find a way around that. But that's essentially what she's doing right now. She's trying to low-key figure out if you're part of her organization or not.
Oh, so this is like the secret handshake,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and we're fumbling it, and we're just like trying to like fist pound the weird handshake. Okay.
Yeah, I don't see a way that Maris would know the response to that, but she's gonna look at the lady, just kind of cock her head to the side and squint and go, "Who are you waiting for?"
She pauses and kind of like regards you quietly. No, it's nothing. Just looking for someone else, maybe. And she kind of looks over at you two. What are you doing here?
Frostglade straightens up and says, "We are with the Storm's mandate. We are close by. I don't know if you should be here. What is your name?"
Pauses and is like, I think you should be going.
But we came here to explore. I don't know if we can leave right away. Maybe we just stick around for a bit, check a few things out, and then head out before your friend comes to visit.
A lot of ocean to explore. Lots left to go. You don't need to hang out with me at my camp here.
How big is the island, Dave?
Bort just says we're gonna take a look around.
Ooh, okay. It's very small. Essentially, you're basically on the side of a sea stack right now.
Okay.
Island is generous. Yeah.
Okay.
Frostglade, maybe we just take our ship around instead. And like Maris is like implying like we just take the ship around the island to maybe check out the other side.
Sail it around
Unless it's just like, yeah, sail it around.
at a safe distance.
Unless it's like when you say it's not much of an island, it's just like a sand dune.
Well, you guys know what a sea stack is, right? It's basically like a large single column of rock.
I'm gonna have to Google that one real fast.
Basically, imagine a big pillar of stone that comes out of the water. You know, this is going to be like the size, like it's not near the size of like an apartment block. You know, it's like imagine a house that's like 4 stories tall, like just like of stone. And she's in like this. There's like a ledge that kind of comes up halfway, where she's kind of made her camp. The only other thing you see here, she's got her campsite on the outside. You notice that there's kind of this like very small cave behind her. Now, Bort, you said
we're gonna take a look around.
Yeah. When you say that, you notice that she moves to cover the cave entrance, and puts her hand on her sword.
What are the other two doing?
Hey, you got us into this.
Bort's gonna turn around and look at what Frostglade and Maris are doing. This is more of a: are they following me and about to back me up, or are they backing away?
Neither. Frostglade is standing pretty stock still and just making note of everything. And he says, "It's late and dangerous to sail at night. We may need to stay here. Can we do that?"
You're not staying here with me. No, absolutely not.
Why not?
Don't trust you.
How can we earn your trust?
If you listen to me when I say I don't want to spend time with you. Why don't you go back to your storm boys and just leave me be?
What is your name? And we'll consider it.
Don't care to share anything with you. No, thank you.
Well, we've no interest in you, I don't think. I'm ready to go.
Maris is just looking between Frostglade to the lady to Bort, and then goes, "Well, I hope whatever the Asheen smugglers group needs, you get it." And then she just turns around and walks away.
She cocks her head slightly at that and kind of watches you.
Okay, without the support of the group, Bort is gonna just leer at this woman and, without breaking eye contact, slowly back away.
And shoot her with your god's eye.
I don't. Oh, note, I do not have that anymore.
Hey, what happened to your god's eye?
I gave it to Mariah.
Man, that was nice of you. Okay, well, yeah, sure. So Frostglade, shrugs. We'll make a note of it, but I've certainly got more important things on my mind. I hope. I don't know what the meaning of any of this. He boards the ship, and actually he goes out to the ship and holds it steady for the others to board.
Maris gives Bort a leg up and then jumps in.
Thank you.
We're all so incredibly helpful. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Frostglade calls out as they leave. Do you know what? Fuck that guy. He says nothing.
Maris is waving bye.
Bort continues to leer at the woman.
She leers right back. Yeah.
That's awesome. I should have dug into the animal because I know things about animals with my teeth.
No.
And then Frostglade says, "Say hi to Pickles."
So real question.
You all.
But it's not in character. Everything's fine. We're friends.
It is. We are. Yes.
How dangerous are the waters at night? Should we be moving around at night in the sloop? Is that fine?
We don't have Valis here to tell us.
So you have heard that this is a rumor that has been circulating for a little while, that especially recently, there have been people going missing. And, both Maris and Bort would know that from the encounter you had on the Bosom of Mercy. There have been rare cases of people going missing in Gromerstown and even on Torlin. There's rumors, though. People going missing. You've known that people have been last seen before night and not there in the morning. So that's kind of all you really know right now.
Well, that does sound pretty dangerous, guys.
But nothing
That's
necessarily to tie us to that rock. So,
all right, agreed. Yep. Let's head to further northeast.
Thank you for coming back for another episode of Questward. This was a ton of fun to record, and I am super excited for where we're going to go with this. So make sure you stick all the way through the back half and let us know what you think. If you're interested in connecting with us, you can jump over to our Discord. You can find that on our homepage. You can find a link there at goquestward.com. I wanted to give a very special shout out and thank you to our new weekly Questward companion backers over on Patreon. I'm talking specifically about thanking Cliffius and Isaac, who are helping to support the show. This is a way of kicking us a little bit of support every month, and this is going to help us to do things like provide new equipment, like we just bought a new microphone that we're going to send over to Nico, so his audio quality recordings are going to be a lot better. If you're interested in hearing more about that or making some suggestions, you can head over to patreon.com/Questward. And, we'd love to hear from you. And if you have any suggestions, please let us know. And if you're able, please consider helping us out with a rating on Apple Podcasts. That helps to make sure that people can give the show a chance. This was one of my favorite episodes to record. And I would say that one of the things that was an experiment doing this season of the show was to have a rotating cast. So, we don't have the same set of 3 players every adventure. And I think this is really interesting to change up the party dynamics and, build new relationships, rather than having one big party of like 7 or 8 or having the same 3 every time. We like to try and, shake things up, show a little bit of different archetypes and different kinds of relationships and everything. This was obviously Bort, Frostglade, and Maris. This is the first time that all 3 of them have been together specifically. And, we're still in a process where we're going through a lot of different character pairings and seeing, just what those relationships are like. And like I said, this was a super fun episode. I'm really, really interested to know what everyone thinks. Check it out, and we will see you again next week. New episode launching on, it's March already? 2021 is a very weird year. We'll be back on March 3rd for the follow-up to this episode. Thank you very much. Take care. Okay, cool. All right, so you keep on rolling. Everybody do a mind awareness.
Oh,
awareness mind. We'll do 4-2. Kind of go from there.
Oh, 3 successes.
3 as well.
Okay.
1.
All right. So Maris, you're busy playing with Pickles along the deck of the ship. The rest of you, it's getting pretty late at night. The waves are picking up. You're getting a lot of wind. This does have a sail on it as well. That is like being whipped back and forth. And as it gets into the dead of night, you actually see more lights in the distance. We're talking about the time of day being, it's probably, 1 a.m. by the time this you see these lights. You see the outline of an island in the distance. Do you approach, or what do you do?
I think we have to.
Like it's an island with like the lights are on this one island.
Yeah.
Yeah, full steam ahead.
Yeah, I'm pretty eager to get off the boat at night, to be honest.
Sure.
Yep, Frostglade keeps heaving on the oars.
You make your way closer. Honestly, as you get closer and closer to this island, it's almost like the storm picks up. It's rocking back and forth. I want everyone to make a quick check. Do a Fortitude body, 6-1.
Oh, doctor. 1 success.
0.
0.
Okay.
Oh no.
Okay, so yeah, you're making your way through the storm. You need to hold on. You're getting like this water splashing up on your visor. You're getting like the wind and salt kind of like spraying up back and forth. Abort and Maris, you don't know exactly what you see, but your eyes scan the waves.
Oh god.
And you become frightened. You just feel this cold, deep chill. You don't like your eyes see something, but your mind doesn't decipher what it is. You are frightened for 1 hour.
Oh.
Yikes.
And now, normally, the source. Normally, how frightened works is while the source of fear is present in your line of sight, you roll 1 less die. However, basically, what this means is you're just going to be passively frightened for 1 hour.
Okay.
You also need to move away from the water as much as you can.
And we're on a boat.
And you're on a boat.
Bort is just. Is there like a mast with a sail on it? Bort's just gonna huddle close to the mast and give it a big old body hug. Hang on.
Do I?
Oh,
go ahead, Maris. Sorry.
Maris is having flashbacks the last time they were in a storm and there was a dwarf next to a mast. So like, it's just fine. There's not, she's gonna go hold on to that mast with Bort.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, rain is starting to beat down as well. Yeah.
Yikes! Yeah, we it would be good to have some skills around this. Anywho, sometime for the future, maybe. Next characters. Frostglade might not be frightened, but does he also know that he saw something deep down, bone chilling and horrifying?
No, that's the thing. Like, all you really see is there's a moment where lightning cracks, and the sea becomes bright. But it goes dark again, and then as soon as that happens, like again, as a small ripple of light, you saw Bort and Maris, kind of as normal on the boat, and the next time you see them, they're in a state of panic.
Sorry, Frostglade.
Oh no worries. Frostglade. Yeah, just screaming. This in real life, this would be essentially my worst nightmare. So, thanks for that, Dave. Frostglade isn't really in a position to do much for anyone except for just get to shore as quickly as he can. So he actually wants to pick up the pace if I can in any way.
Sure. Why don't you go ahead? You can do, if you want to be on the oar. So the sails are doing their thing. You said you're rowing. Why don't you go ahead and do
Medicine Mind? Got it, Dave.
Might body to basically reflect plowing these oars.
Yep. He works extra hard.
Do a 4-2, and so tell me how many successes.
Woo, okay. Got it. Perfect. Okay, great. So I've got 4 successes.
Frostglade, I think perhaps inspired by your crew to try and get them away from this situation as much as possible. Your oaky arms and shoulders go back and forth. You're managing to plow through the waves at a very quick pace. At the edge of this island towards where you're heading, you see the whole island is kind of sloped upwards. So, you have a low side that you're moving towards where there's a dock. It's a very windswept island, very little dirt here. It's very much like kind of the moors where you have, it's like lots of exposed rock, aside from like tufts of grass, dry grass. And you make your way towards the dock. And yeah, you manage to come up alongside it. The dock is, kind of anchored by these the flotation. So it's going really quite back and forth. You hear the crack of lightning in the distance and the wind and rain battering against you. You've arrived at the dock. It is wood plank going up towards a staircase to the edge of a cliff that's only about 5-10 feet tall. You see, this has crab traps, all sorts of fishing stuff here. You notice that there is a vessel that's slamming up against the dock. That's very small. And you've arrived. What do you do?
I will, Frostglade will basically do his best to steady the boat, and he'll be the last person off, but very much just wanting to get away from the water. So he'll be, tying the boat down and whatever is needed there.
Sure. What are you other two doing?
Getting off the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, waiting until the boat is fully secured while hanging on to the mast, and then once it's tied down properly, scurrying off as fast as I can.
Yeah.
Okay. So you two, as you race off of the dock, we hear boots kind of clanking against these wooden deck planks, and the dock is squeaking as you run along it. Both of you make an awareness mind check. 4-2.
3 successes.
Nice.
2 successes.
All right, so both of you hear this. The wind is howling. The rain's coming down. Frostglade is kind of busy getting the boat secured. You hear the crying of an infant amongst.
No. I feel like we've been here before, and then
Back
they
to the
had
boat.
shivs.
They have shivs.
You hear it coming from a stack of boxes to the right of the walkway.
Maris is gonna go investigate. She doesn't actually think it's a demon child or a ghost child. If it's an actual child abandoned in boxes, that's really sad.
What have you guys been doing without me? Oh my god!
Yeah, Maris, you peek over and you notice that there's a basket with a child in it. It's kind of been secured in place on this. The baby is here and crying and just in a position where out of immediate line of sight from the dock itself, but next to the water's edge.
Maris is like staring, kind of like shocked. Like it's still storming, I'm assuming, and like raining. Yeah. Okay. Maris immediately picks up like the basket and is like, it's a human baby, I assume.
It's a human baby. Yeah.
Okay. And she's like looking at it and like looks over at Bort and Frostglade and is like, "Hey, I found a baby?" Like she's unsure that it's a child. And
Bort shakes his hands and says, "Best to leave it where you found it."
Maris just
To talk
stares
about Bort's
at
alignments, yeah.
stares at Bort like and is both not surprised but disappointed.
It's none of our business.
And looks at Frostglade. Is Frostglade off the boat yet?
He would be if he could be, Dave.
Oh yeah, you can.
Yeah,
you
he's
can hop
tying
off.
the boat down.
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Sorry, for the rest of this episode, I'm going to need you to secure this boat.
Oh, okay.
The last episode.
What's happening? This boat's really hard to hold
How's that
on to.
boat going?
Maris looks at Frostglade. Go ahead. Yes, Frostglade.
No, go for it.
No, she's just looking
We
at
both
Frostglade
reach for the
like,
baby and then stop.
And then Maris hangs the basket off of one of Frostglade's branches and goes, "All right, we should get out of the rain. Grab our stuff. Let's go."
Yes.
Bort doesn't think we should take this child.
Bort's speaking about himself in third person.
Okay, you got to the joke before I could in a million years. So Frostglade is going to pause for a second, and maybe Bort's got a point. He wants to examine the baby. This is kind of weird. You know, it's a storm. I am in a rush, but even so, he's going to grab the basket and just look at the baby. You know, pretty closely if I can.
Sure.
Maybe even rolling a quick medicine check. Just to
Sure,
see
yeah. Go for it. Medicine Mind, you can do a 5-1.
Noise.
I think it'd be a little bit trickier for you to assess the state of a human child.
Yeah, no, totally fair, and it's dark, and I am distracted. That's two successes. Cool.
Oh, okay, awesome. You can actually get the state that this is actually a quite a healthy baby, and you get the impression that it has not been here very long. It's not suffering from being exposed or cold or anything like that. Like, you get the impression like it's probably been dropped off within the last hour.
Interesting. Seems normal. Let's take it. I'll keep an eye on it. And I'm stopping myself from making baby eating jokes, so I just won't.
Thank you. Maris is going to smell the baby.
It's got that new baby smell.
Okay, so
a
no
little bit
magic.
rainy, though. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a very mundane child.
We should get out of the rain. Maybe its parents are around?
Yes, let's find shelter.
All right, so it's not a very large island. You've seen it from the coastline, so you have a general sense of what it is. As you come up from the southern tip of the island, where it is more close to sea level, it slopes up like quite a bit. You see there are a series of houses here. The buildings here are, overall fairly modest, but, more well-constructed than other places you've been. You get the impression these buildings have been here for, several decades, if not longer. Most of the lights are out in the village. There is the occasional light from inside. There's, several, what you can tell to be houses, a few outbuildings, stables. You see a farm with a barn and a livestock pen nearby. In the center of this little village, you see well-worn down dirt where you can tell people have been moving around. There's a few trees on this island. Those that are remaining, you can tell like half of them basically have no leaves left. They've been whipped away over time. But the ones that remain are, a deep red color, and they have like these dark, almost black trunks. And then as you look up the main road of this island, you can see a large manor estate overlooking the rest. It is, roughly 3 stories tall with a high peak roof, several windows overlooking the rest of the town.
Cool.
What do you do?
Where are the closest lights? Or do we want to go somewhere where it's dark to try to avoid notice? Or will that just wake up people who are sleeping? Uh-oh.
We have a baby. We have to...
We don't see any, inhabitants.
No, there's no one outside right now. Yeah.
Which is the closest house with the light on?
So to your right, kind of along the trail as you kind of go up towards town, It's 2-story, and the light is in the upper level.
Are there any, as we move, are there any buildings, like even just like a shed or a barn or something that's clearly not going to have people in it and isn't lit?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, there you do see a barn ahead of you, up the way, and you also see kind of like a tool shed on your right near the houses that you could assume is empty as well.
Okay. Frostglade's gonna lean close to Bort and Maris and say, "We don't know anything about the island. I think we should find shelter first."
Maris is agreeable to this.
Okay.
Bort agrees and nods.
Okay, Red. Let's go to the shed. I hope we fit.
Okay.
Well, I mean, Bort and Maris are small, and so is the baby.
And also, Frostglade is there.
And then also Frostblade.
Yeah, so you see this. This is kind of between a few different houses. It's put together from wood planks. It's got like this rickety roof overhanging it. There's a pitchfork leaned up against the front door. And the door itself is, not very secure or anything. It's basically just barely in place. You can actually hear it kind of moving out and thumping against the frame of the door with the wind.
Okay. You guys can head in, and Frostglade will sort of bend down and sort of stick his head in, but we'll, let everyone else who actually fits be in the shed.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, inside, as you go in, tools along the wall. You see a series of like fishing equipment, especially. As you come in, you notice like the top of it has like this fishing net hanging down from the ceiling. Inside are a series of tools, different kinds of traps and stuff like that.
Okay, cool. Okay, nothing unusual in here. It would be great if there were hints. You've given us many about the sorts of people they are, but it sounds like normal fisher folk.
You can do an awareness mind if you want to try and like assess things beyond that.
I do. Thank you for asking. Some good and some bad. What do you want to know?
Sure. Do a 5-1.
Oh, no
awareness
problem.
mind.
I got 2 of those.
Sure. Okay. Cool. As you head in, you notice that there are some, like I was saying, there's like the standard fishing gear, stuff like that. In the corner, you actually see a broken blade of a sword that appears to almost be like made of like fish bone, like almost like it's crafted, and it's been like cracked in half.
Huh. Neat.
Yeah. So you just have like the kind of the tip down to half of this blade. But that's the only thing out of sorts in here. Everything else is pretty much typical fishing equipment.
Okay, well, Frostlade's going to take that half a sword for no good reason. Just seems cool. I'll give it back, maybe. Who knows?
Sure. So you head inside. It's quiet. Do you kind of like basically close the door behind you?
Yes.
Is
Sure.
the baby quiet?
The baby's still crying.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, leave it outside.
Who's still outside?
If we all fit, I think we all would have gone
I think
inside.
we're all, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
All
so
inside.
from what you had said, Frostglade was the last one in, correct?
Yep.
Okay, Frostglade, do an awareness mind. 6-1. Actually, no, it'd be 4-2 on this.
Cool. I hope I see the other end or other side of that sword, Dave. 1 and 2 and 2 successes. I got 2.
Okay, as you go inside and turn back to close the door, you look up to see a window that is now lit, and you see the silhouette of a human looking at you.
Oh, looking at me.
Looking at you. You see they're backlit. You cannot see their features.
So they might not be looking at you.
Okay. That's how I would read that too. So Frostblade pauses for a second and then grabs the doors and slowly closes them while keeping his eye out there through the crack.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're all in here now. You hear the wind is howling through the rafters. This is not a well-built shed.
Oh, well, fuck this place. I leave. Jokes.
Yeah.
Maris is going to try to soothe the baby with help from Pickles. So,
Nice.
Maris, goes up to, Frostglade, is just, I was going to say, picks the baby up out of Frostglade. That's not right. Picks the baby up out of the basket that's on Frostglade and is just trying to, pat it on its head and soothe it. And Pickles is, touching its face gently, trying to, comfort it.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Why don't you go ahead and do...
Oh, I think I just had a realization that's I'm running away with in my mind. Frostglade is having a very slow and horrifying moment in his brain. But please continue, guys.
Okay.
Maris is like, she does all the right things, but you can tell it's like, she's like, oh my god, I'm gonna drop the baby and it's gonna die.
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and do a Guile Mind to try and soothe and charm this baby to being calm. Do a 6-1. It's tough to calm down a baby. Oh, with advantage because Pickles is fucking adorable. So 5-1. Yeah.
So 5-1?
5-1. Yeah.
Okay.
Do it.
2 successes.
Nice.
The
Okay,
baby
cool.
goes to bed.
Yeah, so I think after there's a moment where like Pickles is kind of chittering away, maybe doing some adorable little motions, and I think the baby just kind of like slowly puts up one of those like hands. You know how babies have like those the kind of fat wrinkly arms that are almost like they're inflated,
Yes.
and kind of like gently paws at Pickles' like magical star fur, and then like kind of after a moment kind of like grips Pickles' fur, kind of pulls Pickles into the basket, and kind of snuggles like a toy. And Pickles is kind of there, but a little bit stuck.
And Maris is just like, oh, and like looking at Bort and Frostglade as if they're gonna join in with her in the like admiring the cuteness.
Frostglade is staring out the crack of the door and connecting dots that he shouldn't be connecting, probably. This is great, Dave, because I've seen my players do this, and I'm just like, what are you thinking? It'll be fine, guys. It'll be fine. For the moment, Frostglade is paying attention to nothing but the person in the window, and his eyes are as wide as they go, which I'm not sure how wide that is for him. The same as usual, probably?
Sure. Yeah, so you see, since you've been watching them, I'm not going to make you roll another check. You see the silhouette in the doorway. You see them basically turn to the side, and so you see their side profile as a silhouette for a moment. And then you see them shut the wooden
Shutters.
Shutters, thank you. They close the wooden shutters.
The baby's gonna kill us.
So Frostglade, with that, will actually close the door as firmly as it goes. Does it actually like latch, or does it need to hold it shut?
Yeah, it's got one of those really cheap, like, hooks, metal hooks that you can kind of like put into the door frame.
All right, well, that's probably what I've got to do. So he does that, and then he turns with great care to the others, and he says, "We woke up the neighbor, but I think they've gone back to bed. Where are the parents who would leave their baby? What has happened to them?"
I just don't think we should have taken it. I'm gonna cross my arms and turn away.
And pout.
And pout.
Maybe.
It's too late for that. If we left the baby would have died. And she's like, try and let it sink in. Like, the baby would have died. I think we should just go knock on one of the doors and see who we can find to return the baby. We're here now. We can't stay in this shed all night.
Yeah.
But
So,
I think we should get some shut-eye for the night.
2 against 1, Bort.
So I was going to say, you guys are still frightened. So just a reminder of that. It's going to last an hour. So it's been probably only 5 minutes, really, since you kind of just got in here. So you could wait, or you could still proceed. But if you're going to still do things tonight, you're
That's
going
a
to
good
have that frightened penalty. Yeah.
Is it less because we're farther away, or is it just still the same kind of level because we're surrounded by water?
That's a good point. I think just given the fact this is a pretty small island, you could hear the waves still crashing against the shores. If you were in a more distant location, I think that probably wouldn't apply. But yeah, you're still on this very coastal area. Yeah.
Can we say there's a crack of lightning and Maris jumps and goes, nope, Bort's right. Let's hunker down for the night.
I have an idea. Can you give me 5 minutes? I'll be right back.
Oh, God.
Go for it.
Do what you need to do.
Okay.
Maris is just holding a baby.
Cool.
I want to talk about something else as well. What is everyone's passive awareness?
2.
Oh, the natural
Natural
awareness?
aware?
Natural awareness. What is everyone's natural awareness?
2.
2. All
Everybody's
2s.
on 2s. Okay, perfect. Sounds good.
Or does it?
Does it?
So,
Good for who?
yeah, no kidding. Sounds wonderful for the DM. So Frostglade. Now, Dave, I don't want to like take 15 minutes away for this. Frostglade's got this horrifying thought that the baby was placed there and something was meant to come get it. He's actually gonna.
That's what Bort was thinking.
So he's going to.
Up.
It was very loud outside, and Frostglade doesn't speak well. So he's going to sneak out of the shed, and he wants to sneak back down to the dock, and he just wants to stick himself nearby and just watch the location for 5 maybe 10 minutes. I might have made a liar out of myself.
Yeah.
Just to see if something shows up.
Sure. So as you're making your way out from the shed, I want you to do an aware. Actually, no, never mind. This is what you notice as you leave. There was a pitchfork leaned against the shed before. That is now gone.
Oh.
You make your way down towards the shoreline. On your way, you still don't see anybody nearby. There's cracks of lightning. The storm is seemingly getting worse.
Just before I leave, Dave, because I noticed the pitchfork, I would definitely poke my head in and say that somebody took the pitchfork. Be very careful. And then he runs away.
Maris is like, didn't even notice the pitchfork, so hey.
I don't know what pitchfork you're talking about.
A farming trident. Farming trident.
Okay.
So Frostglade, your visibility is going to be very reduced out here.
Or is my stealth much better, Dave, because of the visibility?
Both, actually.
Oh, okay, fine.
So there's going to be a state of near blindness here, so you're going to have to overcome that. So do an awareness mind. So what you're noticing now is there's actually like a very heavy mist rolling in, to the point where you actually, like, you leave the shed and normally you would be able to kind of see like the top of your ship, kind of like the top of the mast, kind of bending back and forth. You actually can't see it from here. Go ahead and do an awareness mind. You're going to have a lot harder of a time. It's going to be 5-2.
Oh man, I knew I should have ancestral memory awareness. I was thinking about it. We were going adventuring. I've got 2 successes before the dice have stopped moving. I've got 3 successes. Boom.
Okay, sweet. You kind of scan around. You actually notice, you turn back around just for a moment to look over your shoulder. You notice that manor house at the top of the hill. There are several lights on where there were not before. You look back down towards the docks, and you can see the prow of your ship. You can find your way there, so you know exactly where to go. What are you doing?
Because there are things changing. I really want to kind of hurry this if I can. So I'll crouch run down to the ship in the docks. And honestly, I've probably only got the patience to wait there a few minutes before I want to get back to the other 2.
Sure. Go ahead. You're going to Sam Fisher your way down. Go ahead and do a stealth. Stealth body. It is misty, as I was saying. You did roll your awareness to kind of make that well, so we'll give you advantage on it. It's going to be it's going to be opposed, so you're not necessarily going to know what you're going to need. But
Okay.
do stealth body on 3s because you have advantage.
Cool. 1, 2, 3 successes.
So you make your way down, and sure enough, you get down there. As soon as you really make it down there, you notice the mist is basically blowing in. Your visibility of everything is reduced to 30 feet. You can see the dock and to your ship. Very, very, pretty much nothing else to the water outside. It's also pretty well pitch black here, but you just hear the cracking of these boards under the waves as they bend up and buckle down. You see nothing until the crack of lightning. You reveal a silhouette standing at the edge of the dock.
Oh my god!
Well,
it is tall and slender. It's got these 2 long, thin ears that come off from the side. You can tell that it has basically these plates of armor along its waist and legs. Its arms are long, ending in these vicious-looking claws. You swear that as the light of the lightning hits this creature, you see voids where its eyes would be, along with a maw of thin, razor-like fangs.
Holy
Why
crap!
did we take the baby?
because Maris is a good person. Maris is a good person. That's
Oh no,
why.
we definitely We had to take the baby, but this is so scary. So Frostblade is obviously just going to attack or say hello, all of those things. No, Frostblade leaves very quickly and very quietly if he can.
Sure.
And that's the sound of Frostglade running.
Okay, I want Frostglade. I want you to make a check for me.
You know what, Dave? I refuse. Joke. Please give me a chance.
Please don't turn him into kindling. I laughed.
Determination Soul 6-1.
Joke's on you. I trained in that for 1 point. So I have a chance.
Right. Get a 6, baby.
Come on, man.
For the baby.
Oh, no.
Oh,
2 5s and a 3.
2 5s and a 3?
Oh.
Okay, Frostglade, you're frightened. Same situation.
Join the club.
Well,
We're
that
the
works.
scaredy cats.
Because I'm leaving and I'm trying to be really quiet about it. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Okay, you're frightened, and what happens is, as long as you're in the line of sight of this creature, you're gonna roll 1 less dice for all tests, and you cannot willingly move towards the source of this. Do another stealth.
Sure. But Dave, just so you know, I just simply cover my eyes when I roll my dice, and then we're good.
Yeah. Okay, do a stealth body on 4s.
Okay. I'm a little bit stealthy. That's not that great of a roll. 2, only 2. Damn it! No wait. Oh yeah, it's 2. Nope. I don't have focus. Oh.
Okay, Frostglade, you're turning away from this and you're moving up, and you hear the creaking of footsteps along the dock moving towards you.
Oh my god.
And after the first few steps, you hear them increase in speed.
I probably also increase in speed.
Oh.
Athletics
Well, you got
body.
long legs.
Yeah, athletics body.
I don't look over my shoulder at it, Dave.
Yeah. All right, athletics body. Do a 4-2.
Oh, come on, you dumb dice. Oh, whoa, Yahtzee. 4 successes.
Okay, great. Okay, so as you're making your way up along this stone staircase leading up off the cliff's edge, a cluster of these rocks fall away as your feet clamber along it, and they go spilling down the side. Fortunately, you're able to deftly, regain your footing, scramble up the cliff face, and make your way back into town.
So I head straight for the shed, of course. Oh man. Oh, or should I be warned? Nope, I gotta go to these guys first. Of course I do. That's where I go. Meanwhile, Bort's just snoring with the baby. Oh no.
Yeah, Frostglade, you make your way back, and you can see them in here still.
So Frostblade, unfortunately, in his fear, almost certainly bursts into the shed. He takes several deep, almost ragged breaths, and he says, "There's a monster down at the dock. It saw me. It's on its way here. Get ready to fight."